The Anachronauts. They travel through time by downloading history to their brains and archive the past in order to save the future. With their trusty brain download computer, the Epoch Traverser, they randomly visit the past year after year. Join them as they embark on their next adventure. Prepare yourself for Anachronology.
Let's get at it then. Let's go after category number 1, 2001. We're going to talk news.
The
baby.
news.
The news. I think this photo pretty much sums it up. It is a blaze of glory in 2001. But yeah, let's do bad news first. Okay, let's get bad news out of the way, and then we'll move to some better news in 2001.
If given the option, we want the good news or bad news. Give me the bad news first. Give me the bad news first.
Yeah, back at it. Something that obviously started as a whisper that turned into one of the biggest events in our country. This was, of course, the famous scene of Bush reading to, I think, kindergartners in Florida, and one of his aides walking over and probably saying, "You're fucked."
Yeah, it's fucked.
Hey, you fucked up.
Yeah, hey, check it out. You better fucking stop reading My Pet Goat and go fucking get in the goddamn. Oh, yeah, I think the only plane in United States airspace was Air Force One.
Yeah, he's like, "Sir, you got to stop reading if you give a mouse a cookie because the country's under attack and we're all in some big fucking trouble." And yeah, I mean, obviously, September 11th, 2001. I mean, multiple attacks. You had the 2 planes that flew into the Twin Towers. You had the 3rd plane hit the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. And then, of course, there was United 93 crashed in the field in Pennsylvania after heroic fucking passengers crashed that motherfucker. And fucking A, man, 3,000 deaths, deadliest terrorist act in history.
Crazy.
Hit the fucking big stage, man. You talk about like just a symbolic fucking blow to America to nail New York City and to hit us like in the most vulnerable spot. I got a couple of things, we're not going to dive too deep into it, but I mean, it's worth obviously paying some umbrage to. Let's talk about some of the stuff that transpired during that time. That's obviously, you can find this stuff everywhere. These are on our playlist on 2001 news. But it's weird. As AI producer was helping put this together, seeing these things again, it's not like I go online and just want to watch this stuff all the time, but watching it now, and it's wild because obviously nobody had cell phone cameras. All the stuff that you're seeing are people that just, I don't know, had a fucking news camera. People grabbed their fucking camcorder from their apartment and started filming it. That's miraculous to me because even since that event happened, I would even say every couple of years, new footage will emerge and people will show like, hey, here's a video I filmed on September 11th of the towers getting hit. So you get all these crazy perspectives from all around the island of this happening. And boots on the ground, people filming as all this unfolded, and everybody was watching it on television. You didn't have fucking YouTube.
When that newscaster, he's in front of, or as close as he's in front of the this tower, it's before it collapses, you can hear the fucking building, and he's like, it's coming down.
Yep.
Like he breaks like, I'm standing here at ground zero, and then you can hear like, it's terrifying.
It's absolutely terrifying. And here's just a full-on wide shot.
Still so many questions. Jesus. Oh Lord. Yep.
Oh shit. The fucking noise, the sound of that jet engine firing up, man, and just like panning right up like that. And I mean, the sheer speed on that thing, I mean, probably vaporized, man. I couldn't even imagine the aftermath, but fuck, dude. And like that happened and everybody was like, oh, at first, nothing's really amiss. It's like, oh my God, what a terrible accident. This plane flew into the fucking World Trade Center. But then when the second one hit, everybody was like, yo, shit is up.
Yeah, that was fucking Yeah, they told people to stay in the building, go back to work. You out of your fucking mind?
Exactly. I mean, you're right. At that point, yeah, we don't know what's going on. We
Yeah.
have to get this under control. But I'm talking like just fucking insane. And then you mentioned obviously this is always just a shocking account here.
Oh, is this the one where the guys? Oh yeah, this fucking cloud that comes down the street.
The people screaming on the street.
I don't know.
Get down and no. Get away.
Let's just get back.
Yeah. Oh.
You with me, John?
Sheltering in place. Get the fuck out of there. It's gonna get way worse.
And you think you're a person on the street. Obviously, your first reaction is get away from it. But a lot of people, like bystanders, are just watching it. So from the time that thing fell, it like you said, it's like a Godzilla movie, dude. It's just the most insane thing to see people on the streets of New York screaming, running for their lives. It's just surreal, man.
I don't mean to laugh.
I know. I mean, what a day to be a New York cop.
I just want
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, instead of like directing traffic, he's just needlessly arresting someone.
There it is. There we go. FBI already on the. Oh my god!
Crazy. Yeah, here it comes.
Yeah, the rumble of it, the noise.
Look at this. Wild. Yeah, it's the guy who gets into the store and you just see people running by.
This is a crazy shot. Look at this.
Let me in. Yeah.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah. Everybody can't even see. Crazy.
And you know, the sheer the aftermath of this too, which obviously was horrible because Ground Zero existed for a long time. They were just trying to dig bodies out of that thing. And it's just like all the terrible aftermath of even just like the asbestos and all the fucking what was in that dust that was spraying all over the city. It was just, dude, unbelievable.
There's a famous photo of a woman. I can't remember if she was like a lawyer or what her, but she's dressed in a very nice like business suit and she's just covered in that soot. And I believe she just died relatively recently.
Oh, wow,
and it was, apparently from complications of breathing in all that shit. But yeah, man, just fucking whatever the 3,000 people that didn't lose their lives that day, whatever this guy.
Is what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
2 and 2, 1. This is as close as we can get to the base of.
Okay, imagine you're this guy and you're just like, I don't know. I'm never going to get my big story. Like, holy shit, bro.
The World Trade Center. You can see the firemen assembled here, the police officers, FBI agents, and you can see the 2 towers. A huge explosion now raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way.
Yeah, you got to run, motherfucker.
Yeah. This sounds like a train coming.
Yeah, absolute train coming down the tracks, man. Because it was like the one tower fell, and I remember as this all played out, watching it throughout the day, and I remember I had to go to work, and I'd stopped off at a friend's house before I was going to go to work, and they had it on the TV, and as I was getting ready to leave, the second one fell. But it was like the creepy anticipation of everybody like now watching to see if and when that second tower was going to come down. Man, like what it's just like our psyche at that point was just like, it was riveting. You were just attached to the television during that whole time. And then I had mentioned this whole like random people filming it. Look at this.
A bomb just went off in the World Trade Center. It's like, it's unbelievable.
It was the sound of the first plane slamming into the North Tower that jolted then NYU student Caroline Dries and her roommate from their sleep.
Oh, it woke them
Caroline grabbed her video camera and started rolling.
Of course, a college
I had just received the camera like a week previously, and so the night before was the first time I was.
Okay, enough of this.
So
we get the second. Oh, I was gonna say. I know. I mean, what?
is under attack, little girl.
Does this mean karaoke's canceled tonight?
I was supposed to meet Dylan.
Anyway, just absolute fucking bananas. I mean, if you lived in New York, if you worked in New York in that time, God bless you. If you got out okay, or nobody that you loved was involved in this, but it's just like the app and the ripple effect, because we lived in the Northeast, and boy, it's just, you felt it. There was something super heavy about it. I know in our town that we lived in, a lot of New York travel back and forth coming in to our small town, and you could just see it on people's faces. It was fucking defeating, man.
Yeah,
Heavy
the old
shit.
never forget. Didn't we get the old never forget out of this too? Right? Isn't that?
Yes, we did. We did get the never forget. And yeah, here we go. Just a really eerie look at Ground Zero here. I've been back a couple of times. I've gone to the new, the Ground Zero that they created, this monument and stuff with the kind of infinity pool. It's it's sobering and a weird thing to kind of be walking around there, and then you see like the 9/11 gift shop, and you're like, America.
There it is, capitalism, baby.
America.
Let's get some blood from this town.
Let's do it. But I mean, never forget. And boy, we didn't, because we went to fucking war after that. So obviously the next big thing in the news cycle was the war on terror. Mr. George W. Bush came out, balls swinging, declared global war on terror, led to U.S. invasion of Afghanistan in October of 2001 to dismantle the Taliban regime. And I mean, at that point, there was no divisiveness or polarization in America. Everyone just kind of came together, and it was like flags were out. America's pissed off. You awoke a giant, and we just went to fucking war. I mean, I remember at one point I worked at Best Buy, and I always remember this vividly, and it was such a surreal thing. And I worked in the home theater department, and I came in one night to work, and I was sitting there, and my fucking weird manager at the time had all of the invasion of Iraq on the television, on all the television. So it was like all the TVs were showing like the night vision infrared bombings and shit like that. And I was like, this is so weird. This is so bizarre. Like, this is very American.
Yeah, right. Just grab a fucking, so it wasn't like making hot dogs and hamburgers, cooking out. Here we go. Pretty
much, dude. But I mean, I guess it was the answer that needed to happen. We had to puff the chest out. We had to go after it. I mean, that's really all good old Bush had in the fucking chamber at that point, was like, just got to go to war.
Well, looks like let's just throw a dart at the map and let's see somebody over there. Okay, Afghanistan it is.
Let's get him. And it's funny because it's like, I know that, from his popularity as a president, I think he's always been just kind of like the fucking doofusy president in a lot of ways. And I think he got way more than he fucking bargained for. He's like, oh shit, I didn't think I had to do this.
That look on his face alone, at the kindergarten, he's like, oh fuck,
son of a bitch. But we were fucking pissed. Fuck terrorism. We were so pissed. We made fucking cards. We made these sweet terrorism playing cards of all like the fucking top hits here. Got my boy fucking
Uday, Kusei. Yeah, there's the Sons.
We got them all, dog. We got them all lined up.
We got all the four aces, baby.
Yeah, but that was the thing. And I remember even like after that, there were like just people that were like, I'm going out there and I'm going to find bin Laden. And everyone was looking for bin Laden. And it was like all about trying to find him. And then they find him
in Pakistan.
Then they find him years and years later and just walk in and shoot his ass. But it was like, okay, it's kind of anticlimactic. So yeah, war on terror, big news cycle, was talked about all the time. And then that also led to the fun of anthrax attacks. How could you have lived in 2001 without anthrax attacks hitting the news? Shortly after the 9/11 attacks, letters containing anthrax spores were mailed to media outlets and U.S. senators, causing 5 deaths and 17 infections. I didn't realize people died from it.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Did they ever catch like whoever the anthrax person was? I can't remember.
Wow. Let me see. A producer gave me some more. Bioterrorism attacks created widespread fear, led to heightened security. like everything fucking else.
I'd imagine maybe then if you're smart enough to send, well, not smart enough, if you're dumb enough to send anthrax through the mail, maybe you're smart enough to not get caught by doing it. Because yeah, killing fucking 5 people with some
Yeah, wow.
warfare,
It says letters containing the spores were mailed to several news media offices and to Senators Tom Daschle and Patrick Leahy, killing 5 people and infecting 17 others. It even says a Senator Russ Feingold was exposed as well. One of the largest, most complex in the history of law enforcement. Doesn't say anywhere here that maybe they found anybody. Let's see. Eventually, oh wow, weird. It says a major focus in the early years of the investigation were on the bioweapons expert Stephen Hatfill, who was eventually exonerated. I was going right to the source. Like, well, who knows how to do that? You know, who knows who has access to this shit? This guy does.
Fucking, I wonder if there's just some guy sitting at a bar, like,
some anthrax.
Yeah. Well, so remember 20 something years ago when they were, they killed some people. They're mailing it. That was me. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Sure, dude.
Yeah, you don't even keep up your date with your tab, and you're poisoning people with anthrax. It was me.
Yeah, and it's even here. It compared to, in a sense, the Unabomber attacks, because they were just happening randomly, but no, never caught. So if you're ever out and you hear some person talking about it in a bar, there's a good chance they were the people.
They were the person doing it.
Out. So there is that. Okay, cool. Let's see. Moving on. Also, in conjunction with 9/11, 2001 brought the signing of the Patriot Act.
This
good old Patriot Act. That's right. So I guess an answer to the threat of terrorism is the United States government just saying, hey, everybody, listen, we need to be able to surveil at any moment's notice, listen to your phone calls, look at your emails, tap into cameras. If that's cool, we're just going to do that.
Man, I can't remember if this was I think there was like 2 congresspersons, like senators or reps or something, that didn't vote to sign this, like, or pass this along, and they're like, how could you not, you're not doing your job as an American by not voting this through. And they're like, yeah, but look at this, like the permission you're giving up. It's like, at what cost? Freedom at what cost? And I think there is definitely some fine-tooth comb action that has gone through the verbiage of the Patriot Act since, and they're like, oh yeah, I guess they could just hack my phone or whatever, my communication devices, and they don't need a warrant or whatever if it's the government, because it's under the guise of national security.
And the timing, right? It's all about, like, rally behind the United States. We got to catch these guys. Like, fuck your civil liberties. Fuck government outreach. We're just gonna do this. We're gonna make this happen. And it is one of those things, though. Like, once the rabbit's out of the hat, there's no putting it back in there. So this really just laid the groundwork. And I mean, I think even today, it's just like they're always watching. They're watching this podcast right now.
Yeah, right.
We have been run through facial recognition. We're fucked.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you, Homeland Security. Thank you for spending your time watching this episode of Anachronology. You can check us out on patreon.com/Anachronology.
Don't mind liking and subscribing to this video as well. Thank you, Homeland. Thank you, Patriot Act. This is brought to you by the Patriot Act. Also, I guess this is probably, you could probably file this under not great news, but that's not great, because that's exactly how we felt about it. So yeah, of course they're watching us. So China joins the WTO. Good old China. December 2001, China was officially admitted into the World Trade Organization. This marked a significant milestone in China's integration into the global economy. I mean,
you can see the
China's gonna China,
you can see the difference in culture. She's going for a handshake, and he's like, I don't touch women.
I know. Look at his hands. He's just observing her. Like, what are you trying to do with that?
No. And even in diplomacy, I refuse to touch a woman's hand in matters of business.
There's so much going on, and then there's like this white man that's just like side-eyeing them too. It's like,
oh yeah,
they're all plotting. Fuck.
They knew that guy was going to show up, so China had to get their other 2 tallest Chinese people to try and play ball with America. They're like, yo, America's bringing that mad tall guy from the State Department. Who do we got here who can play some basketball against him?
Yeah, China just got a seat at the table, and it's kind of been sitting there quietly now, 20 several years later, and just now it's just waiting silently to strike. Like,
Yeah,
we'll wait for
whoever that
America
guy
to
is.
burn it up.
Yeah, whoever that guy is, that Chinese guy, he's dead too. That guy, like his fucking Xi
he's gone.
Jinping got rid of that guy. He's done.
You're
Thank
done.
you for getting us into the World Trade Organization. Now
I'll take it from here.
permanently.
Yeah. Then, of course, I didn't ever really remember this happening, but something called that was my welcome to the party, pal. Joke. That did not land very well, but yeah, welcome to the party, pal. WTO, welcome. For those of you who've seen the movie Die Hard, that is a quote from it. I'm not making this shit up. The foot and mouth disease outbreak of 2001. The UK experienced a severe outbreak of foot and mouth disease, leading to culling of millions of livestock. The outbreak caused significant economic damage to farming industry and prompted strict biosecurity measures. Obviously, we even talked about mad cow in one of the past episodes. That was a terrible thing where they had to kill a bunch of livestock too. There's killing livestock over in the UK. But I'm trying to look it up what this is, but it seems like it affects cattle.
So I can't remember like how it. I don't know if it's like the mad cow disease is brought upon by like them eating old other cow. I can't remember what causes this. And then it's obviously it's propagation through livestock or farmland, but I know it fucks up humans for like months. Like you get like it definitely affects people different ways. There can be different symptoms, but I know they call it foot and mouth disease because usually it affects your hands, feet, and mouths. And I've seen some photos, if memory serves me. It's like their hands and feet get super swollen, and you get all these like sores like in your mouth. And like I said, it can last for the severity of which can last months, even after I guess it clears up. I think I remember hearing people say it's like they're constantly itchy, like their hands are constantly itchy and their feet are constant. This is like months after all the other symptoms have kind of cleared up. So this shit definitely screws with you.
That's really wild. Yeah. AI producer saying that foot and mouth disease, a highly contagious and sometimes fatal viral disease that affects cloven-hooved animals such as cattle, sheep, swine, and goats. Symptoms include a high fever, blisters around the mouth and hooves, excessive saliva, and lameness. And it says it's rarely fatal in adult animals, but young animals have high mortality rates. And what you're saying too, once it's passed over to humans, sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
So obviously they just barbecued this whole fucking ground of livestock. What a fucking picture, dude.
Yeah, that's fucking.
That's what you got to do. You got to get rid of that foot and mouth disease.
Okay, see, that's horrific. That had to have been awful.
The smell of that, Jesus Christ, dude.
Poor things. Jesus, they must have known. Plus, the animals too must smell that death in the air. They must have freaking out. They must have been knowing what's coming.
Yeah, it just smells like a diseased McDonald's vent shaft. It's disgusting, dude. So, yep. And then another thing that happened, I guess this is still in kind of the bad news category, is we had the controversy over stem cell research. People were getting a little pissed off about the federal funding for limited stem cell research that was being continued in 2001.
Listen, all because we're just snapping the necks of little babies, taking out them stem cells, putting them under a little blender, looking at them on a microscope. Don't get your panties in a twist, no stem research people. Yeah, wasn't that the whole thing? They were pissed off because they thought that was all coming from
live babies.
Yeah, live babies or embryos. And I'm sure there's whatever
probably
ways in which they're getting stem cells from different places. But that was the argument I remember they were making. It was there was just Planned Parenthood was they were just being a shadow corporation to have the embryo babies stem cells taken out of them.
There was that great South Park episode where they're just snapping the necks. And,
Lex Luthor. Yeah,
right. Yeah, it's but it's as crazy as how they were thinking about it. But people were very pissed off and up in arms about it. That was, I guess, the flavor of the week to be mad at in 2001. Also 2001, the .com bubble burst. It was so good for a while, buying up all those awesome .coms, pet.com, book.com, mom.com. And then they just, only the good ones survived. Everything else just fell to the wayside.
Man, this happening in our lifetime. I wish I was, I don't know, a little more in the workforce to see some sort of like, you know, specific repercussion to myself. But I don't feel bad for, there must have been like a bunch of rich people out in Silicon Valley or Seattle or whatever, and then they all lost a bunch of them lost their shirt over in the .com bubble. Sorry, I can't. I'm sorry you lost your millions.
I know.
But also,
I mean,
you know, I didn't really, you know, I had no skin in the game back then. So,
oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously the world's smallest violin for these like multi-millionaire like .com moguls. But yeah, I mean, basically, like if you think about it, if you just got in there, even if you were some random dude that had any way to buy Amazon.com or you bought a popular.com, I mean, you could bring it home. I mean, if people wanted it bad enough, they would have probably bought it, or else, you know, the rest of it was just like, see ya, just didn't last. And then obviously everything has expanded past .com, .org, .edu, .me, .tv, .everything.
Dude, it's not so bad. It's like I've heard if you go to like type in like if you're thinking about the website URL that you want, don't even type it in to see if it's available, because they've got like campers that if you type it in to see if it's available and you don't buy it, when you go to like check on it, it'll be already purchased, because you know whatever code is written to comb these sites to know that someone's looking for this particular URL. So that means someone wants it. So that means you can charge money for it. So it's like,
it's weird.
Even if you're just someone who's like, oh, I want my business name to be this. Like there's someone, whoever across the world or whatever, that's like just sitting, waiting for you to type that in to then say, no, you got to give me, it did cost, you know, $1. Now it costs you $100 if you want it. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a game, and especially even like these you know, these services like GoDaddy or, you know, Wix or whatever that you can basically buy your .coms through. They broker .com sales all the time, so they're just like, sorry, that one's not available, but you can buy it for, you know. So everybody's in the game to just sell fucking .com still. So if you can even strike with that anymore, I would be surprised. But you know, back in the day, this was the boohoo for lots of rich fucking .com moguls. All right, so I think we've pretty much made our way through the bad news. Let's try to talk a little good news here, some good shit that happened. Let's see what we found, AI producer. First of all, oh, I'm sorry. This is not good news. This is more bad news. This is the recession. Oh, sorry, guys. I jumped ahead. Sorry. It's still, guys, we're still in bad news, by the way. We went into an economic recession. That's unfortunate. U.S. economy entered a recession in 2001, exacerbated by the 9/11 attacks. Downturn saw rising unemployment, declining consumer confidence, and a volatile stock market. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember much of this. I don't know, like I obviously I was fairly young at this point. I didn't like hit me super hard, but I'm sure that it was tough for our parents.
Well, let's hold on a second here. Like, what is a crunchy hot dog? like are they talking about? It says crunchy juicy hot dog.
I don't know, but there's a recession special.
So that's recession special. So like I know that like hot dogs can have a snap, but when I'm thinking of like crunchy, I don't think that is like the word you should be using.
I don't know. I was drawn to crunchy as well.
And then I like this this hot dog mascot. He looks like
What's up?
He looks like he is like he was put in charge by the people who like make the hot dogs, but he's trying to convince like his other hot dog brethren not to like buy them, but just like go in and check it out so that he can like murder, like they can be murdered. Like he's got an evil grin on his face.
I don't trust that.
Like he's sad behind the eyes, like he knows that there's something wrong going on here. And then
you get a fruity drink. What's
whatever
the
that
fruity drink. What's the fruity drink, guys?
But yeah, so this little recession, again, you know, I think my fucking parents never talked to me about finances anyway, so I don't even know what the hell.
I don't know, like were times tough financially.
Yeah, I mean, I only remember the only thing that always sticks out to me is every year my dad talks about like how much they had to spend for oil for the furnace to like heat the house. That's like, so I'm sure like in 2000 with this recession, I'm sure my dad was like, God damn, with like, you know, was this per, you know, liter or gallon or whatever. Now it's this. So that was probably the biggest thing that affected my household, was that we probably had to pay more for the oil to heat the furnace.
Yeah. I just
Lord
remember
knows
my dad complaining that all the TV stations were still talking about 9/11. I was like, all right, I don't know what to tell you, man.
So I just want to enjoy a crunchy, juicy hot dog and a fruity drink.
That's all I want.
Take my mind off the death and destruction.
Okay, so with that, the crunchy, juicy hot dogs will end the bad news of 2001, and now we will officially move on to better. I would call this better news of 2001. Some stories that came in. One was that they call it for some reason the Miracle on Ice, which is not to be confused with the real Miracle on Ice that occurred. It says in January 2001, 7-year-old girl named Erica Pratt was kidnapped in Philadelphia. Displaying remarkable bravery and resourcefulness, she managed to escape by chewing through duct tape and breaking a window, leading to her rescue and the capture of her abductors. So
go girl.
Way to go.
Hell yeah.
Abducted, you escaped, and then you led to the downfall of these pieces of shit. I mean, that's a decent happy ending. I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime I hear something about like, this girl obviously was able to escape, and then her abductors were caught. So these, whatever the punishment for the crime of these people that kidnapped this girl, fucking just kill them. Like, don't give him appeal. Don't give him life in prison. Just fucking kill him. Like, what thing were these guys going to do to this girl? Nothing good. These will bring nothing to the world. Just fucking.
I would assume there was bad things in her future. Yeah, way to go, girl. You gotta get out of that situation.
Yeah.
Moving on. Good news. The successful separation of conjoined twins in November of 2001. Surgeons in Singapore successfully separated 11-month-old twins. It says they were joined by the head. The complex surgery was a medical triumph and gave the twins a chance to live life independently. And it looks like possibly, I guess, people doing an expose on them nowadays. That's weird.
Yeah, this is that's a little insensitive of the sisters. Like, they spent all that time trying to separate them, and they're running right back to their they're going right back to it. Like, they can't.
You wonder if it's comforting to do that. I mean, I can't imagine just obviously the medical marvels that must have had to happen to just even do that and not kill one of them. I mean, and I'm sure this is a common thing. Conjoined twins have been a thing forever. So it's like to get it right and to say that a successful separation, the first ever happened in November.
In the brain too, like the amount of like blood vessels that are going through like that organ to each one of them, to not have either one of them kick it while they're cutting them in half.
I mean, that's what I'm saying too. Like, at what point are you not? And then, like, as individuals after, are they lacking something? Like, is something off with a motor scale or something with their actual individual brains now? I would be wild.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something off with their individual brains still.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're just happy that you're not like attached to your sister anymore, but you took the L.
That's wild.
On a couple other things, but crazy medical marvel in 2001. Also, happy story 2001, birth of a baby elephant, Kandula, an Asian elephant at the National Zoo in Washington, D.C., was born in November of 2001, was celebrated as a significant success for endangered species breeding programs. And I know a lot of these ones will do like artificial insemination. It's all wild, and it's like, I can't imagine. I mean, obviously, an elephant's vagina, it must be massive. So I would assume, like, however you're fucking doing that, it's the tools and just the whatever to impregnate an elephant artificially.
I think their pregnancy lasts something like fucking 18 months or something crazy too. Like, dude, I gotta hold on a second. Let me see, like, how long?
I mean, I wouldn't doubt that. I mean, an elephant is a very large animal. Just the embryo of it itself growing.
Yeah, nearly 2 years. Can you imagine carrying fucking 2 years worth of hundreds of pounds of animal? That breaking of that water and that evacuation process, that has got to be the greatest day in that mama elephant's life. Not just because she's giving birth,
if human women had to be pregnant for fucking 2 years, there would be way more murders. They would be murdering people. Husbands would be murdered. That's fucking bananas. Moving on with back to medical marvels. This is kind of a wild story. The first heart transplant using a mechanical heart In April of 2001, surgeons in Louisville, Kentucky performed the first heart transplant using a patient who had been sustained by a mechanical heart for 151 days.
Oh man, I'm getting like the willies in my chest.
This
like,
medical breakthrough offered new hope for heart patients. I mean, that's nuts. I mean, and just look at the fucking picture of the thing over there. So obviously acting like a fucking real heart, has all the chambers, but I guess it's wild that the body obviously didn't reject it and that allowed him to live with this fucking foreign object in his body.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of like the surgical steel, the titanium, whatever, like the non like volatile environment of the human body, like not no infection or anything. So if that machine was just doing the work of circulating the blood, like as long as everything was like clean, there was like the only point of failure would have been that machine right there, which is fucking crazy. That's like a real Iron
Man. Yeah, exactly. And it's just and it's just, I know that like obviously surgery and things like that are so advanced now. They're 3D printing valves and things like that. But yeah, I mean, when's like the first 3D printed heart going to be fucking used?
There was there was a woman, I can't remember, I want to say it was kidney, I think, but she had a pig kidney, bro.
Oh my God.
And she lived a little while with the pig kidney, and then she just recently passed away. This was, I want to say, like this month or something. But dude, wild. So like you're saying, like 3D printed, you know, regular human organs, but they're getting close enough or close to the point where people can live with pig fucking
animal hearts and shit, like
dude,
just something comparable. You got a cow heart in you.
Yeah, man. We got half cow, half surgical steel. Dude, all fucking love.
Dude, the future is going to be a wild place.
Island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Other good news. Vermont legalizes civil unions. In July 2001, Vermont became the first U.S. state to recognize civil unions for same-sex couples. Providing them with legal rights similar to those of marriage. This milestone was a significant step toward LGBTQ rights and equality. Obviously, they were really the first ones out the gate to do it.
Vermont, Green Mountain State, more like the gay mountain state.
They were singing it from the hilltops.
That's Vermont is one of the smallest populations of a state, even for being up in New England. There's Burlington. Montpelier, I think, is the capital, but even then, like, there's no like big cities in Vermont, right? So what I'm getting at is the fact that there is the state with arguably one of the smallest populations in the union to bring about the change, to be the first ones out of the gate. Like I'm surprised that obviously it's liberal, but I guess I'm surprised that there's enough people in that demographic where they're like, yeah, we don't have a problem with this. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like showing that, like I don't want to say like too many cooks like spoil the broth, but like a population as small as Vermont figured out that if like a man and a woman like marry each other, it's not a big fucking deal. You know what I mean? Like, good on you guys for putting the, showing the rest of the
that it can be done.
Yeah, it can be done.
Yeah, leading the charge, and obviously many followed suit afterward. But hey, way to go, Vermont, keeping it classy. Ben and Jerry's, gay marriage, I mean, weed, the list goes on. Fish, if you're a fish fan, way to go, Vermont.
Legalizing that weed.
Another great story. I mean, I feel like these stories happen a lot, but this one obviously made big news. But a heroic dog saves a boy. In June 2001, a dog named Shanna saved a 9-year-old boy in Florida from drowning. The boy had fallen into a canal. Shanna jumped in, allowing him to hold onto her collar while she swam to safety, highlighting the incredible bond between humans and their pets.
And then Shanna threw the boy back in and rescued him again and again and again. Treated him like a fucking toy. Well, good on you, doggy.
I mean, dogs are, another just, we don't deserve dogs. Dogs are awesome. That the kind of intuitive nature of an animal to feel that someone is in need of help. And you always see that with dogs too. It's like, I'll see videos of like, oh, a cat fell in the pool. Oh, a dog grabbed it, pulled it out. It's like, it just goes to show like their awareness of alert and, fear and danger.
I mean, Lord knows we had a friend who had a dog that if Lord help you, if you were in the pool and you like dunked your head under the water, because she'd be coming in after you, like thinking that you needed rescuing when you're actually you're just trying to go for a little swim. Like,
That's it. It's like that flight response for a dog to maybe already just do that innately.
You're a good
But way to go, dog. Another story. What's this one here? Oh yeah. Everybody remembers Elian Gonzalez in 2001. Obviously, after a highly publicized international custody battle, he was reunited with Papa in Cuba in June of 2001. And of course, I mean, this is a way better, I guess, ending to the story because we all know how it started.
Taking him out of the closet.
That I remember this was
Reno.
all over the news. I mean, this classic photo. Yeah, a little much. Probably a drastic overreaction, but I remember this story being everywhere, and then it was all feel good because he was reunited with Papa.
Well, I think Elian, I think he's been in Cuba all this time, right? Like I don't think he ever came back to the United States. So I wonder, like, how did little Elian turned out? You know, if he was taken from relatives here in Florida, then given to his father Papa in Cuba. I wonder if his life was, I mean, the amount of clothes that he's in this closet that he's being pulled from, that's probably more clothes that aren't worn than his family's wardrobe, like all together in Cuba, that they have for like their years.
Yeah, and the closet, really, guy, that's the only spot you could hide in. That was way too easy. This is a pretty cool story. Could not find any good pictures for it, but AI producer did his thing. A bionic arm for a young boy was created in July of 2001. 10-year-old Michael Archer received a groundbreaking bionic arm, allowing him for greater mobility and independence. The successful implementation of the advanced prosthetic showcased the potential of medical technology to improve lives and allowed Cyberdyne to create the Terminators.
Yeah, a little John Connor kid. Yeah, so this, man, if this is 2001, yeah, so 23 years later, I wonder what his bionic arm looks like now, because that's pretty damn pimping for a 10-year, like being 10 years old, having that for a bionic arm.
And you talk about like video game style, like you're the kid with the bionic arm. As you've gotten older, you're upgrading the bionic arm. It's getting better tech. You're right, because like the 2001 bionic arm is not holding a flame to the now bionic arm.
Dude, it probably looks like close enough. He probably has like a sleeve over it that makes it look like skin or something. Like,
all I'm saying is, if I had to rock it, I'd rock it full mechanic. I would just
right on.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. I mean, at crushing Coke cans at lunch, looking at people.
I mean, that would be pretty dope to just be able to like pull out a little screwdriver kit or something, like just tweak your arm and like straight up, like ramp up the amount of, like, I have to turn this down, otherwise I will break your hand when I shake it.
Yeah, like everyone's picking you for fucking dodgeball and shit. You're just like super crazy fucking fast, and nobody on the playground's fucking with you. I'm just saying right now, because I'm gonna roll over there. I'm gonna just rip your face right off.
Oh man, yeah, it's
pretty baller.
Yeah, I hope this kid is like, hope he went into like mechanical engineering or something, able to like make a badass like advance bionics by quite a bit here. Considering
I need to put some heat-seeking missiles on these motherfuckers too. Let's go, baby.
Right?
So that's pretty cool. That's pretty futuristic. And then let's end off good news with a couple's 80th wedding anniversary. Congratulations to Herbert and Zelma Fisher of North Carolina. Celebrated their 80th wedding anniversary in May of 2001. I mean, holy shit, you've been together for a long time.
80 friggin' years. So what are they, like almost 100? God,
I mean, in picture to the right there, they probably like held them up and then ran to take that's how old they are. But man, 80 goddamn years. I mean, that's a long time. And I feel like as we evolve longer and longer as a species, there's going to be crazy long wedding anniversaries. People will be married forever.
I wonder if they fucking shortly after this they got divorced. They're like, well, fucking, I don't want to be married to you no more. 80 goddamn years.
It was in his last will and testament to annul the past year of his life and divorce his wife. What an asshole!
I had all this this paperwork drawn up.
Tired of this. All right, so we made it through news, everybody. You got
news.
You got the bad. We tried to sprinkle some good on it. It was 2001. That's what we could do. Before we go to a sponsor break here, we're going to do what we love doing here on Anachronology. We're going to do a little seggy.
A little seggy. A little seggy break.
Now, keeping with the theme, keeping with news 2001, we're going to do a little fun segment called a Bush or Bust. Now, this, of course, is paying homage to a segment Clay did a while ago, which was a wonderful segment that was with President Barack Obama. And it was basically a guessing game of quotes from the great president and seeing, did Barack Obama say this or not? And we had a lot of fun with that. So we're going to kind of play that same ruled game here. This is Bush or Bust. So I'm going to give you a quote and you're going to tell me, is it Bush or the other person saying it? And let's see how well you do. You can play two at home on this very first Bush or Bust. There he is, our wonderful president. He's got a screaming bald eagle on his shoulder. Let's get into it. Here we go. First up, they underestimated me. I wish I did a better voice. They underestimated me. Now, is President George W. Bush or Stone Cold Steve Austin? Again, they underestimated me.
No, I thought it was misunderestimated.
Oh, my bad. My bad. They misunderestimated me.
Okay. That has to be Bush. That has to be Bush. Like,
okay, so you're going with Bush.
If I feel like that might be Stone Cold Steve Austin, but I feel it's too clever for him to even make that goof, and it is right on brand with Bush. I'm going.
Okay, all right. So is it Bush? It's Bush. There he is. All right. So there we go. First one out.
They
nice
misunderestimated
job. Misunderestimated.
Oh man, that's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one.
And moving on. Smoking kills. If you're killed, you've lost a very important part of your life. Is it George W. Bush or actress Brooke Shields?
Oh man. Oh, see this. This is something. He's holding the fucking hot dog. He should be holding a cigarette. I think. Oh God! See, can I see the quote one more time again? Smoking kills. What is it? Smoking kills.
If you're killed, you've lost a very important part of your life. Bush.
I'm going to go Brooke Shields. I'm going to go Brooke Shields. I'm going to go Brooke Shields.
You were correct. It was actress Brooke Shields.
Yeah,
obviously not the smartest tool in the shed.
Yeah, I don't know why she's looking rough there too. What the hell happened?
So obviously, AI producer pulled the older photo of Brooke Shields.
Brookie, what happened?
Moving on. I know how hard it is for you to put food on your family. I know how hard it is for you to put food on your family. Is that President George W. Bush or Chef Emeril Lagasse?
The bionic arm. Oh man. Oh, see, it's very fitting with the Emerald Pole, but I know how hard. I'm gonna go Bush. I think it's something he might have said, like about for grocery prices or something.
Okay. All right. And is it? It is.
It's Bush. Oh, nice.
There he is. It's Bush. Back at it. Of course. Yeah, he would say that with his robot Terminator.
You know how hard it is to put food on your family.
I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully. I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully. Is that President George W. Bush or Aquaman? Jason Momoa, Aquaman. I don't know. I feel like this is kind of a toss-up.
I know. It's like, man, I never have I wanted to have watched fucking Jason Momoa's fucking Aquaman before. You know what? I'm gonna double that. I'm gonna go Bush. Something's telling me Bush.
Oh, it's Bush. Okay, President Bush, killing it. All right.
I know the human and the fish. This dude was our president twice.
Yeah,
man.
twice elected.
Oh my God.
I get to go to lots of overseas places, like Canada.
No.
I get to go to lots of overseas places, like Canada. Bush or Britney Spears?
Okay. All right. There's
George
no way.
W.
There's no way in hell that this is a Bushy. This has got to be a Brittany. There's no way in hell. Give me Brit. Give me Brit.
Brittany.
Okay.
It is. It stinks of Brittany. It's very
Okay.
Brittany. That makes actually that makes perfect sense. Okay, so there you go. Next one. I've seen the very first line of code in DOS. I've seen the very first line of code in DOS. Okay. Was it George W. Bush or Michael Jackson? George W. Bush or Michael Jackson. I've seen the very first line of code in DOS.
Dude, this is a good pull here because this is something that is just as like weird thing that it makes sense that George Bush would for some reason say it, but it's also right on brand for Michael Jackson to say something this outlandish. And because fucking George W. Bush probably really doesn't know anything about computers, although he could say this line, I'm gonna go Mikey J. I'm gonna say Michael Jackson saw the
Michael Jackson. Is it Michael Jackson? Yeah. It was Michael Jackson. Apparently, Michael Jackson knew all about DOS and was an expert coder. And
oh
of
my
course, he
God,
would say something like that.
Oh,
very good. Moving on. Too many good docs are getting out of the business. Too many OBGYNs aren't able to practice their love with women all across this country. Is it George W. Bush or the adorable R.I.P. Dr. Ruth?
The fucking like, creature hand.
Creature hand.
Oh man. Okay, see. I don't know now. Why would George Bush be talking about OBGYNs unless there's something for like medical? Like, was he doing something, passing some law? Was there something?
True.
But this, I mean, also English is second language. So, and she is talking about OBGYNs. Let's go, Dr. Ruth. Let's try on brand.
Adorable Dr. Ruth. Did you say that?
Oh,
W said it. What? How could our president say something so fucking stupid?
I crapped out. What a
It's all right. I mean, that was a tough one. I threw us all for a little loopy poo.
I didn't really think that. I mean, I should have known that Dr. Ruth, probably even with English being her second language, she probably would have been intelligent enough to not mince words like that. Where this guy, I just don't know why the hell he was actually even talking about something that
it was probably incredibly inappropriate.
Yeah, like why would he even? It doesn't seem like this would be on his radar,
like a State of the Union address or something.
Listen, just because I have daughters and I drove them to
Listen, I've seen a couple of vaginas. Okay, rarely is the question asked. Is our children learning? Rarely is the question asked, is our children learning? We have George W. Bush or Paris Hilton.
I remember this one. This is 100% Bush, but I think I remember this because like a Daily Show, like Jon Stewart, like he said this, and Jon Stewart
harpooned him. I bet
you cut to Jon Stewart just having a field day with it. So this is if I'm sure about any of them, I am definitely sure this is Bush. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah,
100%. Bushy.
Yeah, I remember seeing that one.
Alrighty.
It feels like a Daily Show pull from back in the day. I remember seeing.
That tracks. That absolutely tracks. Okay, what's the next one up here? Here we go. I have opinions of my own, strong opinions, but I don't always agree with them.
Oh, Lord.
I have opinions of my own, strong opinions, but I don't always agree with them. Was it President George W. Bush or Roger Ebert? President George W. Bush or Roger Ebert. As you can see, they're all both ready to go to a movie.
Man, see, this seems like too clunky for it to be Roger Ebert. It doesn't even seem like clever. So I got to go Bushy. I'm going to double down Bushy.
All right. Bush. Bush. There he is. Yep, absolutely. Right from the horse's mouth.
These fucking photos are great.
All right. Well, that's it. Congratulations.
Hey.
You just played Bush or Bust.
How did you all do at home? Let us know in the comments down below.
You did very well, Clay. Very you're very up on your Bushisms.
Oh, well, dude, this
nicely done.
The fact that this guy was literally the leader of the free world for 8 years is fucking something to leave a little bit desired.
Yeah, kind of scary.
Oh my God.
All right, folks, made it through category 1 here in 2001. We just talked about news. We're taking a tiny little break. Word from our sponsors. We'll be right back. Category 2 in 2001. Anachronology. Later.